and they spent $9,000 on a spoiler and a fin for the back. They still call it a fin or whatever. And the car costs $8,000.
Fast and Furious, they did not know what they were getting into, especially where we're from. When Fast and the Furious dropped, everybody and their mama in a Walmart parking lot with a Honda Prelude with a spoiler.
What a Prelude? So it's not you're indicating it's not even the main car yet?
Oh no, it's the Prelude.
So it's like the prologue, the preamble, the prelude. It's not even your main vehicle, and you're going to spend that much money to upgrade it.
Spoilers, exhaust. They had NOS. I go, who are you racing? There's no underground racing scene here. There's no money. There's no money here,
guys. There's also not that big of an underground racing contingent anywhere in the world. Maybe in Tokyo, but it's like you will get arrested if you do that. And probably kill someone. I'm just saying. Evan, you're in scenic and historic Las Vegas. Is there an underground racing scene that we don't know about there?
Yo, it's wild. There is not. But guess what I found there actually is? There is actually 400 miles of hidden tunnels underneath the city where people live. Like, for real. Hundreds.
What do they do now?
Hundreds of people. They do what you think they do.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you this link. They live under the tunnels. They do things under the tunnels. There's an underground network of nefarious activities. There's people that have set up shop, set up camp, live lives, do things. It's like 400 miles and it's like unpoliced.
Huh.
Dude, I'm gonna send it to you. It's wild, bro. It's wild. I watched the whole thing on YouTube. Like, I'm talking about they in there and going there at your own discretion too, brother.
So that's the old abandoned subway system.
Yes.
Okay. So now I understand. I mean,
it is unbelievable. It's like a network of mole people, though.
Yeah. So apparently in casinos, that happens as well. In the boiler room at the Sands Casino, there was some families that are actually living there, and they would be in the bowels of the building, and then like there's all these Canadian geese and things like that that flock to that area, and so they would like literally like kill these geese and like cook them in the deep fryer like at night at the cafe and the restaurants in the Sands Casino in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I talked to the food and beverage manager. He told me, shout out to the great Monteezy, who is joining us on Instagram, man.
What up, Teezy? Much continued success, my brother. Yeah. So last week I didn't know I was starting something. Shout out to my man George Hadamosa, my brother. Hola, ¿cómo está? I forgot how much he's a guy I know back in my AfterBuzz days. I forgot how connected he is in the boy band space.
Okay.
Oh, let me see if I can bring it up too. He was giving me the business, telling me that Girlfriend ain't even on the level of like their top 10. He said it's like one of the worst NSYNC songs of all time. He's like, how dare you even attempt to say that song's in the ballpark of some of the other greats? And I will bring up this in the chat. And I just thought this impromptu in my head right now, but he was killing me on the Twitter sphere, and it was nasty too. Just to let you know,
that's tough sledding though. I mean, Girlfriend wasn't one of my favorites initially, but then they cut the video for it, seeing it perform live, and there's so many great NSYNC songs. I'm a big fan, of course, but I mean, just the staying power that's had and what Nelly would become, even before that, but after that. It was definitely a unique collaboration.
Listen to this from George Hadamosa. Listen, Girlfriend was a swing and a miss. It's not even their best song from the album. And I put "Oh Hell No" with a Cat Williams face. Very apropos, very timely. Yo, what up, Lacey? George goes, "Gone" and "Something Like You" are better songs from the album. Then I put "Big Old Eyes" from Kenan Thompson. And as far as best song, "Where's the Love for Tearing Up My Heart?" Bye, bye, bye. Plus, there's a hidden gem called "Could It Be You" that never gets notoriety. And I'm like,
he's fired up.
Yeah, he was.
He's pissed. He's real.
He dressed me down.
So once again, if you're joining us on Instagram, if you're joining us we're gonna get back to that boy band debate real quick. We are on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, and Instagram. And look, we know this is a Friday night. We know that this could be your pregame. You could be hanging out of the house, throwing some caution to the wind, taking a couple shots, knocking a couple back. You're going to go out, hit the club, find somebody that makes you feel dangerous, but also safe, grind up on somebody new. That's what people do. But on a Friday night, we can be your pregame party. If you're not doing anything, you're lying in the weeds, you want to turn us on for a little bit, pop in, pop out, no problem. Evan, it was awesome last week to have people from 6 different countries, people we haven't talked to in decades, popping up, just saying hi. And I got to go about my business, got to go do whatever they got to do. We know that. You come and go as you please.
Yep. That's what I love about this show, especially when we go live. You are more than welcome to do your thing. We're going to make it an audio podcast afterwards, but we do this live to just chat with you guys live. So you are more than welcome to pop in, pop out, and do whatever the hell you want to do on the Meest podcast, people.
That's what it's all about. So anyway, so for those of you who were not joining us last week, we had a little bit of a boy band debate, and Evan brought up how much he loves the song "Girlfriend" by NSYNC featuring Nelly. I love it too. I'm an NSYNC guy. What can I say? I'm also a Backstreet guy. No problem. However, now we're saying now we have a couple critics who are saying that's not even a top 10 NSYNC song of all time. Ooh.
Dirty. Oh, I got dressed down. Listen, and I asked for it, but I got dressed down. I got hit, and my whole thing is when you would disagree, I like when you actually have something to say. You can't just say I'm wrong. He came up with a nice little backup. Yeah, listen, bye. Very, very hard to argue. I'm one of those people that think that song's just okay.
I mean, that song propelled them into another stratosphere of superstardom because that was off their No Strings Attached album, and that was the first release.
It's the best album still.
And I like all their albums. I actually think the one with Tearing At My Heart's their worst album, but that's not to say that they're all good. What do you want from me? What do you want?
What do you want? Come on, honestly. But yeah, guys, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us on the IG. Thank you for joining us on the IG. Oh my goodness.
Man, there's all kinds of people. We got to look at and please.
Playoffs start tomorrow too. Oh my God.
Oh, there's a lot going on here. And tonight, and guys, in case you haven't noticed, is Evan and I, we're not getting older. We're getting more refined. We're getting our jaws are becoming more chiseled. Maybe a little long in the tooth.
No
longer wet behind the ear. We're also becoming a therapeutic show, a relationship show. Evan with a long lineage, a successful marriage to the wonderful Heidi Mack, and then myself still lying in the weeds, but that's okay. So we're gonna get to relationship topics. We're gonna get to pop culture takes. But Evan, before we get to anything, and I want people to chime in, I was thinking about something that I tended to do when I was a little wet behind the ear, when I was still green, when I was still a noob, because the kids say noob now on Xbox Live all the time. Like that word hasn't existed for centuries, but apparently it's cool again. And then in a couple weeks, you won't be able to say it. We also get rid of a word or phrase every week. I'm nominating the word Riz this week.
Interesting.
So we'll get to that. But before we do, Evan, one thing that was plaguing my mind today, and I fell into this trap a lot when I was younger, and I'd love to know what people think in the chat.
Andrew,
I used to compare myself to pretty much everybody in life. I said, am I doing as well as this person? Am I making as much money as this person? Do I have as many acting credentials as this person? And I found that to be such a destructive path. And now I genuinely can say that I want people to be as successful as they can get. Now, when people don't earn it, I feel like they don't work hard or they don't do anything to get there. I do get a little pissed off, quite frankly. But at the same time, Evan, have you ever found yourself, because you do a litany of different things, all the way from broadcasting to acting to podcasting, of course. Did you ever fall into that pitfall or that trap where you find yourself comparing yourself to others? And there's also a dichotomy there. There's healthy competition where you push, those people inspire you and push you to be bigger, better, and you can do the same. But there's also a very destructive mechanism that you fall into when you do that constantly, because you're never really going to be able to live up to. There's always going to be someone more famous, always going to be someone more rich. You don't know where they come from. You don't know their circumstances. You don't know who their uncle is. You don't know how they got there. So did you ever find yourself, in chat, what do you guys think? Did you ever find yourself falling into the pitfall of comparing yourself to others as a matter of where you are in life and where you are in your career?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a societal thing as well. But a wise person once told me, like, Evan, someone's always going to be doing better than you. There's somehow someone out there doing better than Elon Musk. You know what I mean? So when you think about things like that, you have to try to compartmentalize and not do that. Try to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. It's hard to do. It's hard to do because especially if you see somebody more successful, the hardest thing for me to try to overcome is feeling that I'm more talented than someone that's more successful than me at this point in time. Now that takes some time. that even at this age and this stage in my life, that I'm not over that yet. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know
Like,
how to, I don't know how to rectify that.
I don't know if that's ever going to get remedied. If I know for a fact, I'm like, damn, ooh, shit. And especially when I find out like how you got where you are, I'm like, ooh. So that's always hard. Ashley Nicole says, yes, I'm at the point right now where comparing myself to people who is more successful. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Like she's agreeing, essentially agreeing with us. But like I said, you're lying if you say you don't do that, unless you're some kind of Buddhist monk and you've never done that at one point in your life. But I think it's fair to say that it's all about how to manage that, how to realize and cope with. You need to only focus on what you focus on and the people around you, and not compare yourself to people that are in a more advantageous position than you.
Well, then I'd love to know Nicole's thoughts, and of course, Evan, your thoughts. Where does it become a healthy way to push yourself and to inspire yourself to aspire for more? I do believe, and there's all the cliches. It's okay not to be okay. Love yourself no matter what. Yes, I agree. Love yourself no matter what. Be accepting. If where you are is the best that you're capable of, by all means, that's totally fine. And you should love yourself no matter what and accept yourself. But you should always aspire to be a better version. And that's not something that I always did, but I'm trying to now. And I've been doing that. But of course, we all fall short at times. But Nicole, Evan, everybody chat, where does it stop being a healthy competition and become destructive? Is it when you really rely on that, or you are saying like, if I don't meet this criteria, then I'm worthless? Or is it when your self-worth diminishes because you are not achieving what someone else may have achieved?
Yeah, I think part of it is the kind of the former, like being the person that's like, when it starts turning into you, or you're hating on somebody, or the green eye monster, or you're envious of somebody, you using their position and status that's for motivation is not a bad thing. I think when it starts becoming personal and you're doing a personal attacks and things like that, that's when you're like kind of focusing your energy on the wrong aspects of their success.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it. And Nicole said that she's just now getting into the podcast game at age 30. But see, that's the wonderful thing about a lot of this technology. If you're the first to market on a lot of things, like you're going to be further ahead, and it's a saturated market anyway. So in terms of podcasting and things like that, I think you have to approach it from the standpoint that you may never make a dime from it, but if it's something that you love to do and you're passionate about, or a good way to keep in touch with a friend who's now living across the country, or all of those things, then it's a wonderful endeavor. And look, you could be out on Friday night right now drinking and spending money, and there's nothing wrong with that, in moderation, balance. But if you're like, hey, instead of that, I'm going to do a podcast tonight, what is wrong with that? You don't have to be Joe Rogan. And by the way, Joe Rogan, who's the most successful podcast of all time, I don't find him all that talented. So just because someone has lots of followers, I always say this, Evan, this is an analogy. A lot of people do crack cocaine too. And a lot of people make a lot of money from crack cocaine too. And that doesn't mean that it's good.
Yeah, we have to get away from the whole fact that because someone's making money or they have a lot of followers that they're talented. Like, yo, they got the bag though, man. How can you hate though?
I secretly love when you say that. It's like I think it's like it's one of the most apropos but funny things to say. And it's the way that you say it, because that's like every like young person younger than us is like, is he making the bag though?
But he get the bag. I go, he killed 10 people, but he got the bag.
He
got the bag.
And look, no, I can't knock the hustle. Megan Thee Stallion is the spokesperson for Planet Fitness. I'm like, huh?
She is fit though.
She is fit. I mean, if any young lady joins Planet Fitness and then Googles her, they're gonna find some stuff. Maybe that doesn't matter anymore. Maybe I'm old. I don't know. Like we
don't know nothing anymore. Gary said, "Oh, to be 30 again." I know, right? We didn't just gloss over that. Actually, "Oh, to be 30 again."
Yeah,
big facts.
Yeah, I didn't even. The best part of that whole statement that she said is, I was trying to be poignant and articulate. She's still young, very young.
You fresh leg. You right. Just got out of your 20s. You are in prime real estate. Gary just told you in prime real estate right now of your life. But that's what I always say, trying to focus on the kind of person that you are, the kind of professional you want to be in any space, by not getting distracted by someone more successful than you, is a skill, and it is a skill that is hard to acquire. And it's something that I'm even working on still.
Yeah, I think that's a lifelong pursuit for a lot of people too. And one thing that's great about podcasting and golf and things like that, you have as long as you want to get good. That's something you can do the rest of your life. I mean, what nowadays the podcast medium has come so far. I don't know that it's progressed. It might have regressed some, but it used to be a great equalizer where someone who didn't have a platform could come on, create something, and communicate to their people who are like-minded, or that it may spark a debate. Now it's like, oh, I was famous from something else, so let me jump on a podcast, and now I'm going to get all the followers that I had from the other thing that I did, whether I'm good or not. Now we're the fastest growing podcast. And
yeah, that I hate.
Like,
that
okay.
I hate. Not everyone should podcast. I don't care how famous you are off of selling I don't know, beachwear. That don't mean I want to hear you talk about the beach every Wednesday.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing too. It's a marketing trope, and I have two rules of marketing in my daily jobs. I say the first one is, what do we have that no one else has? And then number two, okay, now how do we make it about them? And when I say them, I mean the chat, the audience, the people that are going to consume the show. Evan and I do the same thing that you're watching right now. God love you, on WhatsApp all day long. I'm not saying we're not productive members of society, because we are, but this is what we'd be doing anyway. And so what I think we have that no one else has on this show is we have our personalities. We're ourselves. We come from two different walks of life, but we found commonality in a lot of things that we agree on, almost everything. But when we don't, it's never been like a contention or a fight. And it's just the sense of humor and pop culture in sports kind of like bonded, wrestling like bonded us. So Nicole, what you would have to offer is just who you are. And I don't know you that well. Evan probably does, but anybody who wants to do a podcast or start anything, what do you have that no one else has? You have you. And then now how do you make it about the people that might actually listen? So you have to be yourself, obviously, but then you put it on a platform where you can engage others. And I think the thing that we have is our chat makes our show. We
for sure, man. I love the chat. So I'm hoping more people come in and more people become talkative. Some people like to just watch. I learned that when I was studying like podcasts and stuff in school, where they're like, oh, don't knock it. There's some people that just like to watch. Some people don't want to chat. Some people just like to watch you talk your Dr. Ish. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. You have to be comfortable with having things to say, and realizing that you see somebody hanging around in the chat doesn't mean they're trying to be rude. They just like to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are thinking about starting a podcast, you have to understand your first episode is, and we hadn't done one together in a while, so people were excited to see it. But then the more you do it, you know, the more commonplace it becomes. It doesn't feel like event destination viewing anymore. It's every week. People take it for granted. So you're going to have fluctuations, highs and lows. And the more you do it, obviously you should build your audience, but that's just going to happen in anything that you do. So it doesn't mean like, oh, we're not going to do a show today. There's only 10 people in the live chat. That's why we go live. Then we have an archive, the show later on. So you just have to stay consistent too. And like, that's one thing just in life now, which sucked this week, because I still haven't put our last episode up yet, because I've just been sick, but that's another thing too. So anybody who finds themselves comparing themselves to others, it's a natural thing, but you can't dwell on that and you can't live your life that way. So please don't.
I actually said, thanks guys for the encouragement. I'm not an up and coming journalist who loves celebrity news and wrestling news. My channel, I barely started, but I'm talking celebrity news and wrestling news. Yeah, keep at it, because it's already something that you care about. You already started your channel on something that you're passionate about, and that's already going to put you ahead of the curve. You're not doing it just to do it. You're doing it because it's something you want to do. And I say continue doing it.
Absolutely. Please do. Evan and I would be happy to tune in, and anybody who starts anything and anyone who supports us, and Evan, we have a lot of supporters, and this is what's going to happen too. Friends and family is who you start with when you're promoting, who's on your Facebook page, things like that. But oftentimes, Evan, I think I don't want to speak for you, but especially in your basketball playing days, I know for a fact a lot of your support as well as mine came from people that we barely even know. And that it should be the other way around, but it's not.
It's not. It's always the latter, and I always appreciate that, and that's fine. Support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, Dylan's always on the show, and Dylan lives in Australia. He lives in a different dimension, but he's always here. He's always present and accounted for, and that's the kind of stuff that I always hang my hat on, and makes me want to do the show and continue to do the shows that we do and talk the stuff that we talk. But yeah, let me shift into some weird news. This is something that I pitch to Jay every single week. I hit him with some weird news, some news that happened. It actually happened. He doesn't know what it is. I read him the headline, give him what happened, and I just wanted to get his honest, unfiltered take. JMC, are you ready?
I'm ready. These are always weird, but I love them.
For this week's weird news, check this out. Here we go. Australian police charge a woman with 3 murders in alleged mushroom poisoning.
Huh.
What's your initial thought?
That Australia is wild.
Aaron Patterson, who hosted the lunch in late July, whose 4 guests quickly fell gravely ill. The menu included a beef Wellington dish that Patterson said included mushrooms. Police arrested Patterson on Thursday. She is now charged with 3 counts of murder and 5 counts of attempted murder. The authorities did not name Patterson directly, but the details and circumstances align closely with her case. National media quickly reported on her arrest. I am now devastated to think that these mushrooms may have contributed to the illness suffered by my loved ones. So they poisoned, people are gone, they're no longer with us. She says that the mushrooms, she had no idea the mushrooms would have done it. What say you?
What mushrooms are you harvesting? This would have to be the first time that she would ever include them in a dish. Otherwise, there'd be a lot more people that are dead. Maybe our resident Australian expert Dylan Matthews can chime in and let us know if these poisonous mushrooms are.
Australia has everything that can kill you there, so they're probably something mushroom we've never. Listen, 3 people died.
That's the saving grace. And this is not something that, I know we're laughing at this because it's so strange, but in Australia, literally, yeah, there's something called the outback where there's spiders that are bigger than like Evan's dog.
Yeah, like when you have a documentary, this is 100 things that can kill you in Australia, which does exist. Watch it, by the way, it's awesome. 3 people died in the days after the July 29th lunch at Patterson's home. From early on, police said the stricken people showed symptoms consistent with consumption of the death cap mushroom, which are known to grow in Victoria, which is very far away from where she lives. How about that?
Oh, see, that's a little wrinkle. That's a little wrench. That's a little. What are you doing over in Victoria, young lady? Huh? What are you doing over there? Gallivanting around?
Where'd you get the shrooms? Why are you
gallivanting around Victoria? There's so many scenic places in Australia that you can gallivant around in. Why are you over there? What are you doing over there? And then you bring those specific. She's like, oh, these look good. There wasn't any markets. There wasn't any kiosk. There wasn't any. Oh,
listen to this, Dylan. I know the answer. Her kids were there and they're fine. They're looking into turning this into a movie. Google a picture of her and it says she's guilty. Victoria is the state where Melbourne is. How about that?
But that's still kind of far for some mushrooms.
Dylan said it's made all kinds of news. We're in the land down under. Very interesting inside information from a proper Australian. Yeah, but Dylan, do you think is she guilty, brother? Dylan, what do you think? I'm just reading what the cops told me. I'm reading a report, but what do you think? What do the people of Australia think?
What is on the tip of people's tongues because honestly, dude, if it was anywhere else in the world, like if it was like if it was Victoria, Texas, if it was Cody, Wyoming, I'd be like, oh, she's obviously guilty. But in Australia,
I don't know. Maybe she literally was picking some fresh mushrooms.
She said, "Oh, mate, these look mighty tasty. I'm going to save them up. I'm going to save them up to my family." Okay. Good night. That's why if you're going to go on a walkabout down under, please be careful. Hire a proper travel agent. Talk to Dylan Matthews.
Yo, tell me why the mushroom is called the death cap mushroom. It's not called like the lily white mushroom. It's called the death cap mushroom. Now I gotta Google what the hell that looks like. Does it look like it could kill you? Let's see. Death cap mushroom. Does it look deadly? It really doesn't. It looks like a regular old white mushroom.
That's misleading. That's tough.
Oh, we can always talk about WWE chat. Just you can whatever you do, whatever people put in the chat, we will talk about. So
actually,
talk about
that particular brand of fungi. That looks pretty formidable to put in a dish. That looks pretty good.
Oh, see, now you're looking at closer inspection. Okay, let me look at some more pictures here. Okay, all right. Okay, sweetheart. All right.
This could go either way, brother.
Oh, listen. Dylan says she's guilty. That's all he put. She's guilty.
Okay, well that means I'm gonna side with the proper Australian.
Oh, listen, talk. I didn't leave WWE. WWE, like it wasn't even WWE. So it wasn't about me leaving because I've always wanted to stay. So
Hold on, for those in the other chats, can you
no.
set up what just got asked over here on Instagram?
Oh yeah, some persons asked, why did I leave WWE? So in the Instagram, and I didn't leave. So WWE, WWE is a big company. Well, WWE has a digital side of their department. It's called AMG. It's called Advanced Media Group. So that's kind of like, it's not a separate entity, but was running a different building before they put everybody in the big building. And the digital side let me go. They didn't renew my contract because so that was never on a full-time contract. They would put you on a 3-month contract. So every 3 months they would come up to you and be like, oh, we're going to renew you, or we're going to renew you, or we're going to renew you every 3 months. So every 3 months you're wondering if you're going to get renewed or not. So that turned into 2 years. And then on the 2-year like anniversary, like the day before payday, they were like, we're not renewing your contract. And I was like, oh, so y'all firing me? Like, nah, we ain't firing you. We ain't renewing your contract. I go, well, I'm kind of old school. When you stop paying me, you fire me. That's kind of how I look at things. So yeah, it wasn't never my choice. WWE still has a soft spot in my heart. That place is too big to even worry about a person like me going anywhere. You know what I mean? That place is way too big for like to notice a person like me going. But I do hold them accountable for not seeing my value. I don't care how big they are. They can still see the value in something I bring to the table. They're not stupid. So I do hold them accountable in that regard. However, it does not stop me from loving that company and loving what that company represents, because the superstars is what I watch it for. And they didn't do a damn thing to me. So I watch it with a full heart, brother.
If Evan was a lot of people in this industry, guys, and again, I don't want to speak for him, but given that the dynamic of that company and the dynamic of internet wrestling fans, and let me just call it what it is, Evan is a tall, proud black man. There's not too many of them on the digital side. So Evan probably could have cashed in, got a $10,000 payday if he would have done a shoot interview and trashed WWE. He's taking
three people contacted me. A lot of people don't know that. I'm glad you brought that up, Jay. I don't even know if Heidi knows that. Heidi,
you didn't even tell me that. I just know how that industry works.
I just told you right now, just to confirm that you weren't wrong. 3 people contacted me to do a shoot interview on WWE, and we're going to take it from a racial angle.
Mm-hmm.
It was immediately going to a racial angle. Why did I get fired? Because I was black, probably. They offered. This is what upsets me when I see people at that company that I don't think should be at that company, because they don't have the company's best interest. What upsets me is I got offered money at a time where we had no money, and we're trying to pay rent. I got offered money from 3 people. Heidi, if you're listening, this happened, and I don't know. It was an undisclosed amount of money, and they were giving me that money if I would shoot on WWE. And I'm not asking for a cookie, but I did not do it because that's how much I love WWE. That's how much I love that company. I love that company so much that I wouldn't profit off of somebody trying to get me to talk shit about them. Think about that. Now, that's okay, though. But if y'all don't think I should be in that place, that's wild. 3 different people, 3 different times. 2 of the 3 wanted to take it the racial angle. 1 just wanted like dirt cheap dirt, and like wanted me to talk about storyline stuff and kind of ruin, like kind of throw people under the bus. And I said, nay.
See, now people in the chat want you to go to AEW. Guys, it doesn't always work like that. I mean, Evan could fit
I would.
He'd do great. Evan would do great there. Tony signs everyone. So I don't know if that's ever in the cards or a possibility, but if it was, he would do well there. But guys, I will also say this, and again, Evan, don't let me speak for you. It's not necessarily being held back like a lot of superstars say, but Evan was the best part of the bump by a mile, and still was not allowed to be himself. I know you told me, because you told me you pitched so many ideas. You showed me footage that you and Heidi would go out and actually do on your own accord, on your own dime, for their benefit. And I already know that you're like that anyway. And I know Heidi is like uber talented and would like help you produce the segments and get the makeup and you did the extra things like the song with Josiah and all kinds of stuff. So I mean, you're what WWE at the time said they wanted, someone who's like multi-talented and can, speak well on a television show, speak well on a red carpet, which you have experience doing, has acting chops, can do vignettes, has musical talent. You check all the boxes. It's a very strange thing.
Sounds personal, don't it?
Yeah.
It sounds like one or two people had a personal thing. That doesn't sound like a company thing, does it, Jay? It does not.
Sound and given
because it wasn't.
And it's so funny because just knowing some of the people who may have a personal issue know it, not even knowing, because I only watched the clips of the bump that you were on because at
business, Jay, I'm all about business. What's better for business? I got no time for personal. If somebody's good, they good.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think I was bringing black people on the show, you're crazy. Black viewers on the show, you're crazy. That's part of the reason why y'all brought me on, and I'm cool with that. Yeah, but I told you, no one's ever gonna get me talking about the E, man. It's just not gonna happen, bro. It ain't gonna happen. Ain't never gonna be talking about WWE in a negative light because, frankly, like I said, I do believe that. I think it's an oversight on their part. However, that company environment, specific person fired me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was amazing. That specific person's decision.
It's amazing too that tonight we started off the show with topics talking about comparing yourself to others, because people that if there's a bad seed in a company or anything, or someone who's jealous and can't stand to see you be successful and doesn't realize that the more successful one member is, the more successful everybody is typically, those people, I don't wish anything good on those people. And we won't say any names, but let's just say the person you're talking about, I had an encounter with too, and I knew not to anywhere close to the same degree at all. But everything you said checked out perfectly, and I didn't even know all the details at the time. So
it's dope, man. Dylan sent me a picture of Dylan sent me a picture of this woman. I wish I could check. I'm on IG right now, Dylan. I'll check after. He goes, tell me this woman doesn't look guilty. I said, I'll see her afterwards. I think everyone in Instagram, everyone on every chat believes that this woman is guilty. They don't even know this poor woman. And I do think they believe it's all freaking guilty. Yo, Andrea, what up, baby? Didn't even see you. Then she just put beef Wellington and exclamation points. I know, listen, yo, Andrea, babe, they're trying to kill somebody, babe, when you're trying to kill somebody when you cook beef Wellington. Like, that's a dish of love. You don't just get to, that's not something you can just haphazardly put together. Beef Wellington is like a dish they serve at like a 5-star restaurant. You know what I'm trying to say?
So true. Shout out to Johan in the Twitch chat. I don't have eyes on the Twitch chat, but I know he's in there, man. Again, one of the most supportive people that you'll ever meet. But yeah, I'm surprised that people on your Instagram, actually, no, I'm not surprised, but I'm a little surprised they asked about the WWE thing now, but I guess you never really did. You never went on a smear campaign.
Does it seem like I didn't do a shoot? Oh,
yeah. So
that was years later. So shout out to the person in the Instagram and realize that they didn't know why I left, because I didn't say anything. Because I told you I love that freaking company. I love it to the day I die. I got a tattoo on my wrist of that company. So don't get it twisted, guys. I just got to stick up my ass about the way it went. I get pissed. Make no mistake. Like, I've never, if you really see my social media, I've never posted an old clip of that show, of me on the show. I never will. So don't get it twisted. Pissed. Still pissed. The people that will say that, the people in this world that will tell you stuff that they're not mad. I'm telling you right now, I'm pissed. I think about it probably once a week. Seriously. I think about once a week how I got let go via Zoom, not in person, day before payday. I will never, ever not be pissed about that, ever. Until I make more money at a higher level, I'll never not be pissed at how that went down. Make no mistake. And I told you, I will say that. That's what I love about the chat. That's what I love about talking to you people. That's why I love doing this podcast with Jay, because that's why we're doing this. Like, there ain't gonna be nobody here gonna lie to you. And then it's okay to be pissed about something. There's something pissed about getting unceremoniously let go of a place that you care about. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm here to tell you right now, shout out to the person who asked that question, because that's something I probably should have said a long time ago, that I'm still pissed about it. You know what I mean? But we still here.
He's got a freaking WWE tattoo on his arm.
Yeah. That's my company, man.
And guys, a lot of people are saying with Triple H in charge, you might get another shot. Just to be clear, I don't think anyone. if I recall, members of the McMahon family said they had no idea and wished you well.
Steph.
So I mean, if you want to make it clear, the person you're talking about isn't Vince McMahon that had a personal vendetta.
No, Steph was like, oh, I didn't, like the sweetest response ever. Oh, I didn't know. If you need any references, shoot me a message. I go, is she not the GOAT? Like seriously, we only met virtually on one show one time. I go, well, this woman is unbelievable. Seriously. She's like the first person, for some reason, she's the first person I reached out to after. I was like, I thanked her and her dad for giving me an opportunity. That was my message to like Steph, Miss McMahon. And I literally didn't think she'd say anything. She was like, oh, I had no clue. I'm like, that's all. When she said that, I was like, that was all I needed to read. Yeah. She didn't have to say anything else after that. The fact that she didn't know.
that's got to be some validation from someone with her credentials and of her caliber to say that. And this is what you have to watch out for, because, and we've been talking about this all show, the people that are in a position of power, but they're not secure enough in their own position, or it's not enough people know who they are, or they're not famous, but they have some level of authority, and they like to abuse that, or they get threatened by someone because they're not secure and comfortable with their spot. So this is when comparing yourself to others becomes very, very detrimental. And rather than work with the people, try to learn from them. If you're like, oh, I'm threatened by this person, which no one will ever admit that that's the reason, but maybe you guys can collaborate. Maybe you both get better because of it. Maybe you find common ground. But to do that and to plot and scheme behind someone's back, especially when they did nothing to deserve it, is asinine. So that's the type of people you have to watch out for, like the middle management people, for lack of better terms. Because the guys, Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie, they're very secure people, I'm sure, in a lot of ways with their position. So they're not.
Yo, Andrea, you hear my boy band debate last week? We had what's the best NSYNC song? I said it's Girlfriend, and I got lambasted across social media. They're like, how dare you? It's not even top 10. So Andrea Ramos, damn. What's your favorite NSYNC song? You know I'm a Backstreet guy, but what's your favorite NSYNC song? That was kind of the debate, because I was like, Nelly, Girlfriend. Ooh, that's what that was. It was like a bit.
But also, while we're waiting for Andrew to chime in, it's got to feel good, Evan and Heidi both, because you're both there for the journey. I mean, every day people still say, "Oh my gosh, you were the best part of that show." I see it, so I know you see it.
Yeah, because when it comes to KB was like, to me, always the anchor, and I always loved her in the position that she was in, as far as being the moderator. Not because she was a lady, it's because she had the most cachet, and Kayla actually has a really bubbly, like, effort, like what's the word I'm looking for, gregarious personality. I believe towards the end that they didn't exploit that enough, because she's a much more jovial than people think she is, as far as her personality goes. And to me, she was always the right person. So she to me was always the draw. So to me, she was always the LeBron James of the team. That's how I always looked at it. I looked at it like I was like the Kobe, you know what I mean? Because I think LeBron's better than Kobe in this analogy. So you know what I mean? So I looked at it in that regard. So yeah, but you know what I mean? But so I always kind of never encountered her, because I always counted her as like the anchor of the ship. But as far as me goes, I just tried to be like the fan of the show, to let everybody know like that you and I are all the same, and we're loving these moments, just like from a fan's perspective. That's the only thing I was trying to convey, but it got really, really hard when they didn't want things to be organic.
Yeah, that resonated on the show quite a bit. I mean, there were certain times when I found it entertaining if I liked the guest, or I could see you. I don't want to say not a shell of yourself, because you were still good, but I could just see you I could see you with the reins being pulled back at times. And I know that you with you did Goat Cena in the first couple episodes I saw. I was like, oh, this show's wild. I actually really like it. People want to know, what was your favorite part of being on the show?
Oh, it's the interaction with the superstars. Just like the idea that, put like this, the thing you think it is what it is. And not on the show. Like the 5 minutes or 10 minutes before the show and after the show, having a talk and just seeing what kind of person they are. And this new crop of talent, they're all humble, they're all gracious, they're all like smart and intelligent and have a million different interests and are super respectful and super accommodating. So getting to know some people that I used to love watching, you know what I mean? That was my favorite part for sure. You kidding me? Because that was the realest part of the show. The realest part of the show wasn't filmed. The realest part of the show was the interaction with the people like after the show. You know, like when I remember having this great talk with like Aleister Black, and he was like very candid about mental health and stuff like that. I was like, damn, that should be on the show. It was like a really good talk with a dude that was very open about how mental health is like a huge part of his entire existence. I was like, damn, we gotta talk about that. You know what I mean? So those are my favorite times, like getting into like the mind of some of the great ones, like literally like having like laugh out loud moments with the prophets and stuff like that. Those are like, I think about those times, you know what I mean? I really do. Having like John Morrison be there, and I haven't seen him in like a few years, and he walk into the studio and he's like, yo, Mac. I'm like, yo, what up? You know, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Those are my takeaways. You know what I mean? It was like I said, I always look upon the show and the time on the show fondly, not negatively. That's just how I was raised, and that's how I was brought up. But one thing I will do is tell you exactly how things go and why they go that way. And I will not pull punches. I don't tell versions of stories. I don't like the two versions of the story bullshit. I think there's a truth and there's a truth. I tell you what happened. You know what I mean? And that's all that happened. But I will not shy away from that. However, I won't let that get me get in the way of me saying I had a great time.
Yeah, once in a lifetime.
Oh, Lucci.
Miss Cakes wants to know, did any of the co-hosts contact you to send regards after the fact?
That's a good question. That's a good one. That's a tough one. Yeah, see, that's why I don't even want to go down that one. I will message you after the show. After this show.
There you go.
That's probably one of my biggest problems with that's when it doesn't get fun for me. That's when I get pissed though. You know what I mean?
I like the fact that
not surprised, but I still was pissed. But we'll talk about that later.
There's certain things that obviously some people that shouldn't be talked about publicly, but I like the fact that you're willing to at least broach the topic and mention it, especially when people ask. Because I'm not going to tell. I mean, this happened in real life. That's why, and I don't play those games. Like I don't do that, bro. No way. Oh, I existed. It happened. It was real. They cut me out. They pretended like I wasn't there after I was gone. Like I never was there in the first place. I can't do that though. No.
I can't do that to any person because you lived, you existed, you were real, you had experiences. I can't let anybody do that. And that's another thing. I was like, I see you guys do a thing like that, but I don't like that.
Absolutely.
I existed, guys. I was part of the team. You know what I mean? Like, don't come out the next week and no sell me. Don't do that. That's my shit. I think that's a fair thing to be pissed about. You know what I mean? But I told you, I'll say it before and I'll say it again. An undisclosed chunk of change that would have put me and my wife in a solid position for a few months, paid all of our bills, caught us up to a lot of things. Heidi's probably like, God damn, I should have did this. But no, if I would have shot on this company and I said, nope, love to eat too much. Nope.
Well, I mean, who knows what's going to happen down the road? But if you keep doing what you're doing and making your way,
I'm doing a Meest podcast with you, bro. I'm good.
Exactly,
I mean that shit.
see, Miss Cakes. A lot of people have said that too. I'm not watching the show anymore. I barely watched when Cody was on, right when he first came back, because I was like, for what? I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm saying this, not Evan, as an observer. I already know what they're going to ask Cody. It's going to be the same questions he's already answered 1,000 times. So it's not going to be anything insightful. And now Evan's not on to actually try to make him laugh. Because I know when Evan interviews anyone, he's like, if I can make this person laugh one time, it's,
number one goal.
Comfortable.
So number one goal, break tension. They that's what pissed me off. They acted as if you were never there. I haven't. Yes. Yo, shit. Shout out to Andrew. Listen, I caught it late, but I'm going to go corny and throw O-Town. Oh my God. O-Town, all or nothing into the ring. But we could say certainly JC Chazé blowing me up. Super, yeah, banger. Yeah, schizophrenic. Yo, Heidi Mack, did you hear what Andrew said about O-Town? Like, we open for O-Town. Google it. It's on the goods. I forgot she likes Old Town. Old Town. Yeah, that was back in the day. If after Backstreet and NSYNC, you made a boy band, you ate. You went platinum. 98 Degrees, Old Town, like you, because people were hungry.
There's so many boy bands that fell by the wayside. 98 Degrees, I'd give them a little more credit, but like O-Town was decent, but there was probably 100 boy bands that popped up real quick. So that was.
Miss Cakes says, I actually like O-Town. Shut up, Miss Cakes. Don't agree with Andrea.
O-Town's
what was the banger? What's the banger? They got a banger. Every single one of these, look, 98 Degrees, O-Town, they all had bangers.
O-Town had Liquid Dreams. Like, you're the star of my liquid dreams.
Heidi just said Liquid Dreams. She just said Liquid Dreams. I hate all of y'all, man.
That's a very thinly veiled analogy, guys. Liquid Dreams. What do you
now listen, Mrs. Cake said, she said New Kids on the Block, they're also not technically the first boy band. The first boy band is Brothers, but nobody likes to acknowledge that the Brothers are a boy band. But that was the first, like New Edition was like the real first boy band. For real. And they were lit. Then white folks realized, which I agree with, that wait a minute, we just gonna make them white. I go, yes. The first $1 billion tour, I think, was in New Kids on the Block. Like, for real.
Back in the day, too, like 30 years ago.
Listen, and no one will ever tell me in the world that Hangin' Tough's not their best song. No one. No. We gonna be not for the fucking song.
We're
Hangin' Tough.
Shout out to the Right Stuff too, but still though, come on now.
Ooh, Right Stuff is a banger, and I actually like Belle Biv DeVoe better than New Edition because of who's in Belle Biv DeVoe, Miss Ashley.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, but back in the day though, with Bobby Brown, probably on copious amounts of cocaine, but he was getting it, just dancing his ass off.
It's my prerogative.
Oh come on now.
I do what I want to do. I go, we know cocaine.
Yeah. He's like, sometimes on stage, we're like, yes.
Like, people don't understand. When someone tells you the truth, believe them. He said, it's my prerogative. We got it.
There's a video on YouTube, at least it was last year, when like a sack of cocaine falls out of his pants on stage. And he slides in smooth as shit and picks it up.
Cocaine's like, listen. Cocaine.
Look, Miss Cake said it. He literally dropped it on the stage. He picked it up smooth though. Didn't even break stride. Didn't even miss a step.
Oh my god, man! Come on, yo, Lucci over here making rum punch, yo. What up, Lucci? You can slide some of that rum punch over to the squad. You know what I mean? What you talking about? You making some rum punch? Rum pa pum pum, rum pa pum pum. I have no gifts to give. That's a banger. They be sleeping on that track at Christmas time. I don't hear that song on the radio enough at Christmas. You know what? This whole episode could be how much shit I get tired of. I'm tired of everybody. I'm tired of nobody acknowledging me for leaving the show, acknowledging the Black tribal chief. I'm tired of people not playing rum pa pum pum rum. Like they don't play. Matter of fact, I didn't hear that all Christmas holiday. I didn't hear that track. Heidi had a damn radio playing all the damn holes. Did you hear rumpa pum pum, rumpa pum pum?
Not even once. And no, Justin Bieber has a cover of it. Yes, I did hear it one time, and it's nice too. But if you think about it, because Evan and I like we go deep into some stuff, and we'll talk about Old Mother Hubbard on another day. But she lives in a damn.
Ooh, shout out to her, the cup. Shout out the boo thing. I always picture Old Mother Hubbard as like being like thick. You know what I'm saying? Like I picture Old Mother Hubbard being like the original Mrs. Cakes. You know what I'm saying?
Me too. But what shoe do you live in, and how? And doesn't she have like 1 million kids? But anyway, Rumpa Pum Pum. I don't even know what the proper name is. I got to Google that. But isn't it fair to say that song's like he is literally there to bear a gift to our Lord and Savior at his birth, and he's like,
talk about it.
He's like, I'm gonna give you the only gift I have. I'm gonna play you a song. Come on now. And he's not even intimidated to play in front of the Lord and Savior. Whatever you believe in, that's cool. So another hot take
that no one's gonna care. No one's gonna get. Somebody might get at me. Somebody might get at me. Greatest Christmas song of all time. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. Now, Evan, why is that the greatest Christmas song of all time? Why is it the greatest Christmas song? Because it's very hard to make an original Christmas song stand the test of time. So many people try to make original Christmas songs, and that one has lasted for 30 to 40 years.
Mariah Carey's
Damn it. Mariah Carey's like, who you talking about? But I freaking hate that song. In her defense, it falls under my criteria, though. It has stood the test of time.
It sure has. But,
it has stood the test of time. Hate it, stood the test of time.
The best Christmas song of all time is in my opinion, it's not the best, but it's my favorite, and that's one of the NSYNC's Christmas songs. But
they're one of the best Christmas songs of all time.
They really do. Man, I heard Justin Bieber does have a cover of Little Drummer Boy, and it's everything you want it to be. Let's just put it that way. But
I have no gifts to give. I'm like, you poor as well? Yo, me too. Shit. Oh, listen, Lucci, the greatest Black Christmas song of all time is This Christmas. Anybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Hang on the mistletoe. Because every Black person got to be like, to get to know you better. You can't sing that song without blacking it up. You know?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. As it was intended to be.
Damn, that's a banger right there, though. Whew.
Wheel 5 stud. I don't even know who you are, but you're warm and near and dear to my heart right now, and I can't thank you enough.
That's Johan. That's Johan.
Oh, that's Johan. See,
it is.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy.
I love Johan, dude. I love Johan.
Him. Gotta love him. My first job. He asked me what my first job in entertainment was. I did a movie called Annapolis with James Franco, Tyrese, Donnie Wahlberg, and I had to train as a boxer for 8 weeks.
Oh, talk to him about Step Up too. Shit.
That was the one. And then, so Annapolis was the first one. And I had to audition. And that's actually what got me into the Screen Actors Guild, because I had to punch the bag. And actually, if you actually take direction on a project from the director, you have to become a principal actor instead of an extra. So even though I'm in the movie for 30 seconds, I was also the stand-in or body double for Donnie Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg's brother, of New Kids on the Block fame, to bring it full circle. And he was a nice guy, and James Franco's real weird, but he was a nice guy. Tyrese was great. So that was the first one I did, and I went and lived in Philadelphia or Westchester with John Brown, who's now my boss, and left Towson University for a whole semester. And all my
Dylan said, "What's James Franco like?"
James Franco's very strange.
And this is young James Franco too. So these are different versions of people. So this is Jordan got him fresh. This is fresh legs James Franco.
He had been in Spider-Man 1, of course. He had been in City by the Sea, which I was a big fan of. James Dean, which I was a fan of. So I was a fan of his work. I think Spider-Man 2 probably came out too. This is probably 2005, 4, 3. Look up Annapolis. The movie's not great, but it was an awesome experience. And to get paid $200 or $300 a day to hit a bag, and they shot a lot of scenes that I'm in that didn't make the movie, but that's just how it goes. I didn't talk. I yelled stuff and had to do facing movements, but that, and then Step Up was right after that, and I was the stand-in and double for Channing, and I was in a bunch of the scenes as a student at the school. One of the dancers. That was even before I really knew how to dance, but did a lot of stuff in that movie and worked behind the scenes for weeks. So those were the first two right around the same time, and then some actual principal work and getting lines and getting to talk. Baltimore Ravens commercial, Maryland Lottery, a couple bank commercials, and then a national commercial for Domino's all happened around the same time. Then Salt with Angelina Jolie, and then Captain America 2. So that all happened close to the same time. But the real thing, I wasn't even going to talk about that, Johan, but Johan just said, I want to take this time to thank Evan and JMC. You guys are giving me some levity. Great word, great terminology. During a hard week. It's been a tough week for me and my family. Just wanted to thank you guys. Johan, I wish there were a billion more like you, because
me too, brother. You make the world a better place.
You inspire me and Evan all the time. Like, even when I didn't know you that well, you would always say, you'd always pop up on Evan's shows and be supportive. And that's, for someone we've never met in person, which we will do someday. Can't thank you enough.
Love James Franco. Watched him from the time he was on General Hospital. Damn, Biff, I see you. Damn,
Biff, I didn't even know that. He was. So whereas and then Evan can name drop a couple people too, with the best of them. But whereas Channing Tatum is very boisterous and exactly what you think he is, like the way he is in 21 Jump Street, even before he was super
Savannah, famous.
I had seen Coach Carter and I knew a little bit of his personality. So Channing was very, very outgoing. and James was very quiet and reserved. But you know, I ate lunch with them because we were in like the Echo Company, which was his company in the movie. So I was always right by him. He didn't talk that much though. He was very method and very artistic and a little bit.
This was his break. This was his break though.
Yeah, he's like this. He's like my name's on the top of the bill, and I'm going to take it seriously. But handsome as shit, man. He's a good looking kid.
Yeah, he's a handsome fellow.
Definitely a weirdo though, and like some weird stuff came out later on too. But they're all weird, man. They're all weird.
He said, hold up. Dylan's fool. Dylan said James Franco worked with JMC, peaked, and then botched the Oscars of all those years later.
Yeah. Definitely peaked. No, I was a fan of his, and
James is cold, man.
Yeah, City by the Sea.
He got into a little alleged tomfoolery, a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah,
but that's not what I'm talking about. I don't get nobody's personal business. We just talking about experiences.
We weren't there.
I'm here, right here, where I'm at.
But somebody asked about Donnie Wahlberg. He couldn't have been a cooler guy, honestly. That's a South Boston mentality. You realize there's the Wahlberg brothers, there's John Cena, there's Matt Damon. They all have like the same facial structure, and they're all from Southie, and they're all like,
they're all from South. They look exactly the same. They all
well, hardworking normal guys.
We some fucking from Boston, from Boston.
What do you mean? I got a good head on my shoulders. My parents raised me good. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dude.
We go talk to the car in the park and down in the bar.
Dude, you want to go see the Sox play? Come on, I got tickets. They all talk the same and they all look like that. And
Mark Wahlberg to me is one of the most overrated actors of all time until he gets to do that accent, and then he is the Lord. He is the Lord in Departed. He almost steals the movie.
He really does.
He almost steals the. You know who's in that movie? He almost steals the movie. Alec Baldwin, Jack Nicholson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Sheen, who else? In A Partridge in a Pear Tree, Damon. Who else we got? We got everybody up in there. Oh, Ray Winestone.
We'll answer that in a second. So Mark Wahlberg. My theory is though, if you put anybody with Will Ferrell, they'll be okay. And like. I always thought he was a little overrated.
He's like AJ Styles to me, brother. Like, you get a good match on anybody. Will Ferrell's like AJ Styles.
and whoever, I mean, if it's Adam McKay with him, with the other guys, like anybody could be Mark Wahlberg.
They're beefing right now. I hate that because they make so much magic. They made magic together. I didn't know they weren't. I was realizing why Will's.
That's real. I heard about.
Oh, it's real, dude. It's bad.
They did Daddy's Home and other guys.
It's bad. Like, it's like really bad. I'm like, damn, y'all make magic together, bro. I
gotta look that up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, check it out. I'll show you. I'll send you a link where Will's like, "Yeah, we're not talking."
Wow, that's interesting.
I know, dude.
Ms. Cakes wanted to know any celebrities that we worked with that were rude, or any relationships we have with any celebrities outside of movies and TV. And if you include wrestlers in that, we got some good stories.
No, listen. It's so crazy. They don't mention him anymore. But Kevin Spacey was a gentleman to me. I was on the set of House of Cards. He was
Jealous. I know he's a piece of shit. I don't care.
I was like Secret Service, and one of the coolest stories, like, I never saw you on that show. I go, well, let me tell you the story. Like, I was like background for, and I was there. I'm not joking. I was background Secret Service for him, me and this other guy, and we were there for like 14 hours standing around. And I'm not joking. In the 13th hour, someone on set realized, and this is a mind blower. I didn't even know until I had to Google it. Someone on set, costume designer, somebody, whatever, realized that no Secret Service has facial hair, and I did not know that. I did not know that.
Huh? I didn't know that.
And I had a mustache the whole day. Filmed in so many scenes with me right behind Underwood or whatever. And I had a mustache on, and they were like, they had to cut all my stuff out because no Secret Service has facial hair. Like, no real. I go, wait, what? And it's true. If you see a picture of a Secret Service person next to a president, they're clean shaven as hell.
Huh.
They're clean shaven as hell. And I was like, oh, there goes my 15 minutes of fame. I was on that whole show and that whole scene in the Oval Office. Oh my God, man. So frustrating. But anyways.
It's a brutal industry, guys. If you haven't been on the other side of the camera or even, that can happen. Evan, you could have done a great scene and just they're like, you know what? Freaking MJF, guys, was in the Iron Claw. There's a whole scene that he's in as an executive producer that got cut.
You say whatever you want. Like once you get in, you're in.
Yeah. You still got paid, I'm sure.
I did. I'm cool with that. Look at this. Lucci said, I just learned something. I go Me Too on set about 13 years ago.
That's on the wardrobe department first and foremost.
It is, dude. I was there all day. Oh, well, we just realized they're all clean shaven. I go, it's just a mustache. I can't grow facial hair. This is a tiny piece of peach fuzz. Take it off.
Yeah, literally. Any, and I'll get to mine in a second. But any celebrities or wrestlers that you can divulge that were like rude though?
Michael Jai White was a dick to me.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you why I was pissed. And I'm not joking. I don't hold too many grudges, but I'm still pissed about this. Like, this is when I was literally just still playing basketball. So I'm tight about this. This is 2003. I'm still pissed. So this is 2003. Don't nobody give a damn about Michael Jai White in 2003 or 2024. I'm just keeping it a buck. They don't. But I do, because I was a big fan of Spawn. Huge fan of Spawn. I think it's one of those movies that just don't get enough love, right? So I'm at the gym, a young buck named Cam, and shout out to Cam. Cam was doing very well for himself. He took this 20 years and ran with it. Client of Steve Amell, Green Arrow, started his own company. Cam's cooking. How did the fish grease? Cam Pashai. Look up your boy. But I'm in with Cam, and we're working out in the gym, playing basketball. We're hooping. And I go, yo, Cam, here, this is how you know this. This is how you know this should have went my way. I go, yo, Cam, is that Michael Jai White? Cam said, who? Right there. That's how you know. I said, is this Michael Jai White? He said, who? If I'd have said Jim Carrey, he'd have been like, yeah. I said, is that Michael Jai White? He goes, who? I said, oh, the brother that plays Spawn. He goes, oh yeah.
Someone who works with celebrities didn't know who he was.
So I'm marking out. He was still on the come up. He literally was just a photo guy. Now he's not just a photo guy. Last time I seen him, he's front row WrestleMania 39 and SoFi. That boy didn't came up. But so like I go, yeah, that's a dude from Spawn. He goes, you're a big fan? I go, you should go say something to him. I go, oh no, he's working out. I go, I don't want to mess with him while he's working out. He's doing a set. He goes, oh, let's just wait till he's done. And I go, oh, I said my exact words was, so if it's meant to be, oh, we'll see him outside. Kind of always just already resigning myself to the fact that it's already a wrap. Because he's working out. We're leaving. Yo, he is leaving. He's right behind us. He is as wild. And Cam goes, yo, Mac, it's meant to be. I go, it must be. I go, I can't say anything, man. I'm kind of weird about that kind of stuff. He goes, I'll say something. I go, oh, okay. A young Cam walks up. I wish Cam was watching this right now. He'd be like, this is exactly how it went down. Cam walks up, and then he's the nicest, most polite kid ever. Nicest Persian you ever meet in your life. He walked up, and he goes, hey, Mr. Jai White, this is my good friend, Lish. They call me Lish. He goes, yo, he wants to really picture it. He was like, what? He was like, oh, he just wants a picture. And when he did that, and he's with a homie next to him. When he did that, I already checked out. So you got to understand, even young me, I already checked out. This is literally when I was like, oh my God, this dude, I'm a kid. So I was like, oh no, I'm good. And he was like, oh, he really wants a picture. And like, I kid you not, I was like, psh, what? And his friend was like, oh, yo, he'll take a picture. That's what his friend did. And he goes, yeah, all right, man. And like, by that point, I'm already done. But now I'm in the spot where the friends got the picture. So I'm pissed. So Cam's like, oh, take the picture, Matt. And you take this picture, and it's a stupid fucking picture. And I always think about that because he was a douchebag. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a hot chick, bro, but ain't nobody pulling up on you, bro. They ain't. And he has like 9 million credits in IMDb, and no one could pick him out of a lineup. So I was a little tight. I'm still tight. I'm not joking because I'm a different person now. Now I've done things. So if I ever see him, I literally will talk to him about it. Seriously, that's how I am. That's how you know you come a long way in 2 decades. Like, if I ever see Michael Jai White in public, I'd be like, yo, bruh, why you play me like that, man? Like, brother to brother, like Negro to Negro. I wanted a picture with you. Like, bro, you should be thankful that somebody should get a picture with you. Like, real talk.
And you waited. You waited. That's like rule number 1.
Man, I forgot. I got to see if I'm going to get Cam to send that whack-ass picture to me because he doesn't throw away anything. You go see this whack.
You posted it at one point.
Man, I'm still pissed about that. It was 21 years ago and I'm still pissed. Do not be a dick. I don't care who you are. You don't ever be too good to take a picture with a person that's humble and nice to you. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I ain't asking you to sign nothing. I said, take a picture, bro. Man, get the it was tight, boy. I'm triggered.
What do you think is your best relationship with a celeb or a wrestler to this day? That was asked as well.
That's a good question. I don't even count it to any. I don't think I got any really great ones. Anytime I it's cool though. It'll take me sometimes like a month. Like if I message like Tez, like Montez Ford, it was like I remember I sent him a video from like me and Heidi, like I think it was like Happy New Year. And like he sent a video back. It took like a month, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's always cool to me because I legitimately am just checking on him and his wife, not Montez and Bianca. You know what I mean? Right. I'm just like I'm not checking on the superstars. I'm checking on like them and their family. So that always makes me smile. Anytime I give well wishes to the Young Buck Theory, he always responds. Omos responds when I give him some love. Drew McIntyre responds when I give him love. So that's pretty much that's all I care about when I'm trying to legitimately show them love. Or like, yo, that was a good promo last week. And then Drew McIntyre's like, thanks, bro. I'm like, that's all I really care about. I'm not trying to turn this into anything. I'm not trying to monetize your likeness or anything like that. I just want you to know that I'm watching you.
And you're doing well. And they know.
Oh, Heidi said Heyman. Oh man, I freaking love that dude. I wish we had like a better relationship. but anytime our relationship is stupid because of me. Because like he'll do something, I'll just put a goat emoji in his message. I don't do anything like, how are you in good health? How are you, sir? How was Hanukkah? I'm always like goat emoji. I talk to this grown man like a child. I put goat emoji, flame, goat emoji, acknowledge me symbol. Like we are the ones. That's how I talk to Paul. I swear to God, that's all I talk to the dude is in emojis.
He's the best, and
I think he's the greatest.
To anybody listening, I will tell you that neither of us are as close with John Morrison as we used to be. It wasn't any reason, just life. But immediately, Evan, I'll never forget it because I had known him. I'd only hung out with him like twice at the time. And he was like, hey, I'm going to be in LA. Like, give me Evan's number. Because I just talked about you in passing.
This is the coolest story ever.
And I'll let you tell it then. But
no, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool. It was just a cool story.
Immediately after, he goes, Evan's everything you said. Great energy. I was like, yep. Anyway,
you took me and my freaking wife to a freaking vegan restaurant. I was still pissed about I'm like, yo, come on, Jamal, you eat too damn clean, bro. Damn, you eat too clean. But how can you be mad after you begrudgingly eat this vegan menu and he picks up the check? I was like, this is the best vegan food I've ever had in my life. He paid for me and my wife. This was delicious. This was absolutely delicious.
And he invited you guys out.
Oh man, that was one of the classiest things. Oh, and then invited me to his party, his birthday party. Yep. Chavito there, and he was there. All these wrestlers there, and everyone was having a good time. The freaking bar was open. It was some dope place in downtown LA. I was woo. Oh, yo, I actually ever meet the Rey Mysterio? Yeah. So one of my favorite encounter with Ray was like we're in catering, and I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is my favorite thing about Ray. I don't even know he remembers this. It's the best thing ever, though. I go, yo, GOAT, what up? Here goes the thing about Ray. He actually knew who I was talking to. Think about that. You want to talk about confidence? I said, yo, GOAT, what's going down? He's like, oh, nothing, man, just chilling. He turned when I said GOAT. That's what I'm talking about, Rey Mysterio. That's what I'm talking about. Don't be like, oh, what do you mean? Nah, hell no. Yeah, I know you talking to me. Oh, snap. Oh, yeah, you're right. Heidi was right. RVD was there at the party, man. Yeah, she was right. RVD was. We were there all night talking to that dude. We were there all night talking to the whole effing show.
He's one of the only ones that I've never met that chaps my ass because he's one of my favorites.
I wish you were there, bro. He was super. He was there all night, man. You'd have had a good time, bro.
And Evan and I met Ray at WrestleMania 20 before we had either of us had done anything.
WrestleMania 20, Lord have mercy.
and he signed your IC title. We talked to him about 5-10 minutes in a crowded lobby. Took his time with his family. Approached him respectfully, of course, because we're not douchebags. But I literally back then, would that have been 2003 or 4? Or I literally was like, "Hey man, how are your knees?" He's like, "They're bad, man." He's like, "I don't know how much longer I have."
20 years later, he's like, "I'm back and better than ever."
Unfortunately for me, Miss Cakes, and those who asked, the biggest dicks that I've encountered in the entertainment industry, one won't surprise anybody because I don't really care. One broke my heart, but Ryan Phillippe from Cruel Intentions was an asshole.
Devastating. I'm devastated to hear that.
And unfortunately for me, my highest profile job in ever, when you won't notice that it's me, but you can see the back of my head, the back of my shoulder, and I'm there every day for a week. I was literally the body double and stand-in for Chris Evans on Captain America 2. And Chris Evans, who I love.
My favorite Captain America is Captain America 2.
And I love Chris Evans. Loved him since Not Another Teen Movie, and he was a dick.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. And here's the kicker.
Oh, I know, because that was Jake Weiler, man.
That's Jake Weiler, though. And he was, and there's a kind of an unwritten rule when you're a stand-in. It's one of the best jobs in the world. You go through the whole scene. They do the lighting. They do the camera. Everywhere it's going to be while the main actor gets his makeup on.
I hate that job, Jay, because you're there in everything and no one knows you exist. Stand-in is like the most frustrating job ever as an actor because you literally on every scene. If you're a Chris Evans stand-in, you're in every scene. But continue.
Yeah. So I was there it was just while we filmed in DC, but it was a whole week. And so usually only big actors have a stand-in because they're high profile and they need to be. Sometimes they don't even come out of their trailer. Sometimes they like to do the whole scene. So Chris Evans, he's the type that he keeps to himself. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I'm a fan, and I'm like, he's probably got a lot of pressure on him. This is his movie. It's a big deal. I'm no one. He does, but there's kind of an unwritten rule for your stand-in. You shake their hand, you introduce yourself, and you say thank you, and you don't have to be friends. A lot of them are friends, and a lot of them use the same guy. I was kind of hoping that would happen, but it didn't. He didn't have but 2 words to say to me. He didn't give me he did this. Hey man, that's it.
Ooh.
And here's the only problem. I had already established a rapport and a relationship with Anthony Mackie, who could not be a nicer gentleman. Anthony Mackie knew an acquaintance of we had a mutual friend that he went to college with at Juilliard, and that person said, tell Anthony Mackie that so and so said hello, and tell him if he acts like he doesn't remember me, then I'm going to kick his ass. And he remembered every single detail about this person, went into depth about it, had a 20-minute conversation. Excellent conversation. He was asking me questions, which he didn't have to do. He was engaging in the conversation. Anthony, the coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
So Chris Evans is the type that he wants his stand-in or second team to do everything, and then he comes in when they call action. That's totally fine. That's one way to approach that job. Most people hang out on set and they're more jovial. Like Anthony had a stand-in. Anthony's stand-in did not do one lick of work because Anthony did all of it, and he was cool as shit to his stand-in too. But so Chris had me do everything. That's what I'm there for. That's what they're paying you for. It's not a problem.
That's true.
Now, if you guys remember the scene, it's in Washington, D.C. All of a sudden, Scarlett Johansson pulls up in the very fancy car and they drive away together. Very famous scene. Scarlett's only there for about 2 hours, so they got to get her in and get her out. Yep. Scarlett doesn't have a stand-in. Not that she's not a big enough star. She obviously is, but they didn't pay somebody, $500 for the day and their travel and everything for one scene where they're just going to get a little bit of coverage with the camera and then send them on their way. So I'm in the picture car, right? I'm sitting in that car thinking I'm going to block out the whole scene. Didn't know what was happening, but I'm like, Chris has not done anything today. I'm going to do all of it. Great. I'm in the car. All of a sudden, Scarlett Johansson opens the door and sits down next to me. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And Evan.
She fine as hell too.
She looks perfect. She looks exactly how you think she does. She had a lot of stage makeup on because when you don't have makeup on camera, you look like orange. So she had a lot of makeup on. But the point is, she sits down. And Evan, I'm like, I gotta say something funny. I'm just like you did on the same thing, and I was on fire. So keep in mind, I'm like, I have some FaceTime to talk to this woman. This is incredible because Chris has not done anything today. All of a sudden, this big knock on the car window, and Chris is there like, I got it. I'm like, you got what, Cap? What do you got? You got what? He's like, I got second team duties.
Oh, he's like, no, he'd have been the GOAT if he'd have been like, on your left.
Yeah. If he did that, I'd be like, by all means, sir. And I
If
was
he
like
did that,
anyway.
I'm like, he's the greatest of all time.
I said, you're kidding. And that is that scene too. The scene where he's running laps around the Falcon.
Yep.
That's the same location. So
he would have been like on your left.
Would have been the great. See, he's not charismatic like that in real life. Everything, most of his humor is written for him, unfortunately, I think. But okay, so now all of a sudden he's jovial. All of a sudden he's animated.
Ooh.
All of a sudden he's hot to trot. All of a sudden, so he's sitting in his car and the window's down. He rolls up because it's not like a real car. So like it has like roll up windows. He's like talking to her and I'm like sitting there. I'm like, when they tell me like second team, you can go take a break or whatever. Second team's standing. He rolls up the window so I can't hear their conversation. I'm like, okay. I'm not saying that Scarlett was gonna fall in love with me. She probably would have. Let's be honest.
We don't know what this could have been. I could have been going to a much different wedding. Yeah, I could have been going to Colin Jost could kick rocks.
Yeah, who's to say? But I've never been more on fire. Now she could have been entertaining. She could have been entertaining the fact and just been like, okay, this asshole, whatever. It's just, he's like a low level, whatever. But that was not the energy I felt. But I was like, this is the only chance I probably ever get to talk to her. So
quick recap. JMC blew it with ScarJo.
I dropped the ball. Chris Evans had to swoop in on his white steed, on his trusty steed to save the day and save the steed. Quick
recap. It could have been Scarlett Coulson. You blew it. Chris, you effed up. You effed up.
If he would have hit me with that on your left, I'd have been like, you're the greatest.
If he'd hit you with that, I said, Jordan, I don't care what happened to you. He is the greatest actor to ever live.
Yeah.
Knock. Hey, on your left.
I'd be like, oh, okay, all right. And I'm still a fan of Chris Evans to this day. But
what if how about this? What if he would have told you to get out the car as Jake Weiler though?
Then
in character.
I've done anything he wanted because Jake Weiler is still my favorite thing he's ever done. How could she dump me? Jake Weiler. If you in the chat don't know who damn Jake Weiler is,
then you need to watch Not Another Teen Movie. The greatest teen spoof movie I've ever seen is that movie. That movie is perfectly done.
And then we'll stop name dropping now. But to recap though, Ben Stiller, awesome. Channing Tatum, awesome. Chris Evans, douchey. Scarlett Nice, the Falcon, Anthony Mackie,
Philippi, douchey.
Better. But and I think Evan, the person that you and I just, for whatever reason, even though we don't see him that much anymore, John Morrison's a great guy, and like I'm probably closest with Kurt Angle of anybody. But
class act. I never had the pleasure to meet Kurt. He was me and Heidi were there. We were at a show in Penn State when I was trying to film stuff for my one thing I pitched, and we were in the the area where everyone watches the matches, like kind of in the locker room area. You've been there before. Where he's sitting there talking to Kyrie and Oscar. So he was there. I was in his presence. I was in the presence of greatness, but I didn't say anything.
He would love you. I mean, we worked together for one thing. I met him at the Sands Casino that we were talking about earlier. And just got to talk to him about business because he had gotten one of his products in Rite Aid at the time when Vegas Fuel just got into Rite Aid. So we were talking about business and it wasn't really about wrestling. And
Vegas Fuel, my favorite energy drink of all time.
I said, would it be a conflict of interest to ask you for a picture holding a Vegas Fuel can? He goes, no. It wouldn't be a conflict of interest at all. He's like, I'd love to. I was like, okay.
I love this dude already.
So then I'm like, I'm just going to, and my contact at TNA was EC3 and Robbie E. Robert Stone, a good friend of yours, Big Puppet Mac.
Love Rob, man.
Another great guy. He's had his ups and downs.
Bro. He's class.
He's a good dude. And I know you know EC3 too, but and you know Adam Scher way better than I do. Another good guy.
The best dude ever, man.
Bad rap, but
best dude ever, dude. I'm telling you, bro.
And then Kurt from doing that, we hired him to do an event at Advanced Subs, and I said, Kurt, I've been asking you for a lot. I said, do you want to give me a recommendation that I can use for job interviews? Because I can't list you. It kind of lists you as a reference, but when you're not here, can I send him this video? He's like, yeah, I'll send it to you. I was like, I'm never going to get this video. But the fact that he said, okay. So now I post it once a year, probably on Instagram and Facebook. He did like a 2-minute promo in his car about what it's like to work with me as a marketing director. He said, absolutely hire him for your company and use my full name. I don't even know how he knew how to pronounce my last name, but just it's amazing that people it's amazing because if I asked, counting you or Heidi, if I asked a friend of mine to do that, I don't think they would do it. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not present company excluded, but
I know what you're trying to say though. The fact that you think that you might not get that vid is speaking volumes. Or a picture after some asshole leaves the gym. Michael Jai White, piece of shit. You got a 2-minute video. Michael Jai White wouldn't take a snapshot in 2003.
And we're talking about it right now. And to this day, I didn't take the job, but if anybody's from Pennsylvania, the Whitaker Center, I applied for a job there to be the marketing coordinator. They called me, and this is how you never know. Wrestling fans are the best and the worst.
Best and the worst.
Kurt literally, the lady's talking to me. She's like, very interested in bringing you in for an interview. She goes, I've got to ask you. She's like, how well do you know Kurt Angle? Is because I watched the video. And so she was like a mark of a mark. So I didn't take the job, but I would have literally got offered that job just because she was a wrestling fan. So
love
also,
that.
So yes, a lot of these guys, and I think wrestlers are different for people that haven't met a lot. And Evan, you and Heidi have met even more than I have. Like, I feel like they are more appreciative of their position because they do thrive and rely so much on the fans for their career.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, that's what I told you, the new crop, they're just class, bro. They are, man. They're class, they're respectful, they're patient, they're professional, they're I can't say enough how amazing the new crop of talent is across the board, not just at the flagship.
Yep.
Dylan said Braun Breaker needs Robert. No, I think Omos could benefit from Robert Stone as well on the main roster.
Why is Robert Stone not on the main roster?
I think they really do value him down in NXT. I really do. I think he might even be comfortable down there. I don't know the real reason, but I don't think it's a knock. I think I think he's so good at being manager. I think he's so good helping the youngsters down there with his knowledge and his acumen that they need him down here. I think Shawn Michaels really might value him down there. Truly.
I can tell you, and you know this about Rob. Rob Strauss is his real name. He may come across like he has an ego, but he has no ego. I mean,
Dylan Matthews said, I think we know why Michael Jai White is on to his second marriage.
Damn, Dylan, I couldn't even get my second marriage. Come on now.
Some look at that as a knock. Other people look at that as a virtue. That you couldn't get the marriage too. Quick, right this. Listen, right, real quick, feet to fire. If you got to your second marriage, would your marriage have lasted, in your opinion?
Not the people that we no, because of the people that we both were at the time. No.
Okay.
So
it would have been short lived, do you think, or you think it would have had some years?
I mean, we were together 6 years, so to anybody,
I know,
anybody to do that in this day and age is remarkable. I just think
it's a long time, bro.
I think we both had stuff to work on, and there weren't proper boundaries in place. And even though I never did, even though I think there was some vindictiveness on maybe one party's part, where I don't feel like I did anything vindictive, but I will take responsibility for it, because if you want to talk about old traditional roles, I still think that in a lot of ways the man should be the leader and provide the example, even when they're not maybe being treated. Even I know that's so faux pas.
You trying to put these women in the kitchen, JMC? Yep. You trying to have them barefoot in the kitchen with the pots and pans?
That's exactly. Yep.
That's what I heard. I heard two things tonight. You fumbled the bag with ScarJo, and you hate women. That's my only takeaway in this whole podcast.
Yep. That's so. I think I could have done a better job providing the example, even when I didn't like things that were happening. I think I could have handled it better. So who knows what's going to happen in the future? But given the time and the circumstances. No,
I feel you. Miss Cakes, I agree with the wrestlers are more compassionate and humble. They consider fans as family who go on the journey with. Yeah, it seems like that. It really does. It really, really does. And I don't know. I love them. I love the new crop of wrestlers. They're amazing. Even if they all hate me, I love them. I have a question for you guys. It's that somewhat of a tough question, but who's more of a GOAT, Roman or John Cena? Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so cute, Ashley Nicole. You asking the wrong person, girl. My nickname is Coco Cena, for goodness sakes. For goodness sakes, on the streets, they call me Coco Cena. And I say it before, and I'll say it again, Boo Fang, who's more of a GOAT. The greatest wrestler to ever live, his name is John Cena. There it is. Roman Reigns is going to have to beat Dwayne the Rock Johnson in order to be in the conversation. He's getting there. Roro is making his way off the exit into the parking lot of the stadium that is the GOAT. But I think that's fair for me to say that he's getting off the exit. He's getting off the exit.
It's like, yo, dude, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. I just got off the exit. That's like what you tell people when you're approaching the scene. So I'll answer that.
Jay, everyone's talking about you fumbling the bag with ScarJo. Listen, Andrea says ScarJo was probably enchanted just the wrong time. Jay, Heidi just said fumbled the bag with ScarJo. That's the biggest takeaway. Fumbling the bag.
Andrea and Heidi are two of like the nicest, most compassionate human beings on this planet, and now they're giving me shit.
Guys, this is the social media clip. Jordan fumbling the bag with ScarJo. Yo, how great would this be if I tag ScarJo and she's like, I remember him. I really, really wanted it. There was something there. What would you do? What would you do?
Jordan, why did you get out of the car? She's like, I need a man that stands up for himself. I'm like, shit, damn. If you just tuned in, we are talking about SCARLETT JOHANSSON. And I did. What if
SCARLETT JOHANSSON said, what did she go? What if I put like, this is when Jordan fumbled the bag with SCARLETT and she just like liked it? What would you do?
I would be like, how should I? Captain America told me to get out of a car. Literally told me to get out of the car.
Yo, he fumbled the bag with ScarJo. And I'm the only person that started calling her ScarJo. Whoever said that stole that shit from me.
You have been giving people nicknames for the longest time.
Jay, yes or no? You fumbled the bag with ScarJo.
Clearly, I fumbled the bag. Clearly, I did. If two of the most gracious, compassionate young women that I've ever met, two of the kindest souls I've ever met in this society, think that I fumbled it, but they're not even going to think, "Oh, come on, give him a break." I will.
Everyone's like, the other ladies are like, bag fumble. Yo, Mrs. Cakes, Ashley, did Jay fumble the bag with ScarJo? I want everybody on there. Dylan, did he fumble the bag?
So Evan, if Chris Evans literally said, "Hey, yo, brother, pop out real quick. I got this." Would you have been like, "No"? What would you have said?
Yo, wait, why are you talking about me right now? Why are you talking about me? Listen, because first and foremost, professional first and foremost, you have to get out the car, man. You gotta get out the car. Gotta get out the car. Gotta get out the car. But this for my bit, this is like a good bit. It wasn't me, so I get to be like, he fumbled the bag.
What if SCARLETT responds and she's like, we were having a great conversation, and then like some guy who could just walk out so easily because one other guy tells him to do it. I just feel
listen. Dylan goes, "Oh, he did fumble the bag, and you best believe I already did an edit with the ScarJo and JMC. He already has a cut. Dylan has a cut coming. He has a cut. Mrs. Cakes, that's like Jimmy Fallon dropping the ball with Nicole Kidman. He could have had Kidman. He said, "Oh, damn, boy, you dropped the ball." Andrea said, SCARLETT was probably just waiting for you to be like, this was a test. Ooh, people think there was some stuff there. Wait a minute, Will Fox Stud. JFC, I know the feeling, brother. I fumbled the bag with somebody. I know the feeling.
Johan. E2 Brute.
Yo, the betrayal. The betrayal.
Yo, my boy, all the way down in Florida. He didn't even he's trying to be empathetic. Look how he worded it though. He's still you're indicating. Stop indicating at me. You're projecting at me.
The best thing ever was when we posted this social clip, and ScarJo was like, "There's still time." Yeah. She's like, me and Colin are on the rocks.
I'm like, you're being very forthcoming on Instagram.
You think I talk shit now? If I happen to bring this back together, no one will be able to tell me nothing. Like if I made that happen, I literally could be living under a bridge like a troll. Like Heidi could have married Elon Musk, and I'll still be walking with my head held high, but like, guess who I got my guy Jay with? ScarJo.
Even better, what if she was like, Jordan, I'm sorry, I don't remember this conversation. She's like, but your friend Evan's so passionate. You must be a great guy. I'll give you a shot. I'll be like,
I'd have been like, what about Colin? He's like, What about him? Whoa! Andrew said, matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Oh, you gotta finish the find me a find, catch me a catch. Mrs. Doubtfire, Oscar snub. Robin Williams should have won an Oscar for that role. I'm telling you, he's that brilliant in that movie.
You're right about that. But then at the wedding, since Evan's an ordained minister, you're giving the speech. All of a sudden,
yo, Dylan's picture he said is insane. It's insane. Wait, let me see if I'm linked in my Twitter on here. I will share this. I will share this to the chat. Oh, I am. Hold on. I've never shared a screen before, but I'm gonna share a screen right now. Hold on. It's the greatest of all time.
I don't even know if you can. I don't even know if you can on Streamlabs.
You watch me share this damn thing. Hold on. How do I find that? Where did he say that? Oh, Dylan, he posted on Dylan. Dylan, you posted on your page? Hold on. Hold on. Come on, man. How's it on my one screen but not on my other screen?
Does anyone know? Does ScarJo even have?
Oh, I got it. Hold on. I'm sharing the screen. I'm sharing the big screen. Hold on. Where's it? Share screen. I understand. Let's proceed. Notifications. Yes. Share. Anybody see this? Anybody see it? Is it gone? Do you see that?
I can't see anything.
You don't see anything?
No.
So wait, share screen. Yes. Notifications. That. Do you see that? Do you see that?
No.
If anybody on Facebook is watching this and y'all see this screen,
Facebook, maybe.
You guys are the greatest of all time. Hold on, let me blow it up. There it is. It's the edits. It doesn't matter. I'm saving this and making this like my background for like the rest of my life.
I don't even know if Scarlett has any social media platforms though.
I doubt she does. She doesn't want any of this tomfoolery. That's all.
She's like, Jordan, I can't look at your profile and see with someone new.
Oh like, God, it's so good though. It's so good. I can't wait to put it on the thing.
And then at the wedding, Evan giving the ceremony, he says, "Does anyone have any reason why these two should not be wed in holy matrimony?" And Chris slides in.
He's like, on your left.
I'm like about time you hit that damn line.
Like seriously, finally, dude. Like we've been talking about this for so long.
ScarJo,
we see nothing.
Scarlett roundhouse kicks him. She's like, "Not this time." I'm like, oh shit!
I'm like Black Widow.
It was meant to be.
Oh my God, that's so freaking great, dude. I swear to God, that's too great to me.
He must have, because Chris's trailer was not that close to like on set, because he would like disappear in between like when they say new deal and they set the new camera shot up. So he must have like caught a waft. He must have caught the aroma of he somehow knew she had arrived, because she pulled up in a white van very discreetly. The only reason I even knew she was there, I was already in that damn car, and lo and behold, the door opened and she popped in.
Somebody had a good suggestion. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Hold on. I got it on the screen. Watch this. Look.
Speaking of Jimmy Fallon.
Look at this. You see this? Hold on. Show the Instagram.
Dylan
Damn it, Instagram.
A madman.
You see this, Instagram? What could have been?
She looks so happy too. And look, I'm checked out.
You are. You're already over it.
Maybe I did fumble the bag.
Oh my God, Miss Cake. Speaking of Jimmy Fallon, he is on now, and he's guesses Kevin Hart. I bet he won't ask him about Cat. We are hard-hitting questions. Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, because you know how it goes. Or if you don't know how it goes, let me tell you how it goes. The reason why Cat Williams broke the internet is twofold. Cat Williams broke the internet because people crave drama. That's why the number one show on TV is SVU, the NCIS's, people getting like hurt and harmed, the 911 show, Grey's Anatomy. Those shows are number one, not because they're just good shows, it's because people crave drama. They do. What's the number one thing people watch? Reality shows with drama, right? So that's the number one reason. True crime. So that's literally the human condition. That's why Cat broke the internet, and number one. And number two, he broke the internet because he was candid. Because I'm getting to your point. Yeah. He was candid, and people are in this day and age, they're too worried about their brand or protecting themselves. Cat went in. He went in a la Ether and Nas. And the reason why you just said that thing about he's on Kevin Hart's getting the interview with Jimmy Fallon, he's not going to ask him about Cat Williams, it's because he has publicists that told him that he can't ask the question. And that's a real thing. And that happens all the time. And if you really were a G, like if I was, like I'm telling you, if me and Jordan ever get in that kind of position And that's why I always get so pissed. It goes back to all the stuff we were talking about earlier in the show, where I get pissed at people that are further ahead than us for the simple fact that if that was us and Cat Williams came at me, my publicist would kiss my ass. Like, you can ask me about this question and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. And I'm going to get my 42 million views. Because I'm not going to sit here and that's why, listen, that's why people think, oh, if I ignore them, I don't bring any attention. No, when you ignore some people, when they say stuff that scathing, that people think it's true. Mm-hmm. People, listen, there's nothing wrong with defending yourself if you feel something is egregious. We can't always do this little BS excuse like, oh, I don't want to bring attention to it. It already got 42 million views. They don't need you to bring attention to it. It don't need you to. I believe when you have a publicist kind of protect you and you kind of do no comment. That's why, listen, for example, when everyone's talking shit about Jonathan Majors speaking, I go, why? I'm not going to sit here and let people keep telling me about me. I'm going to sit down with ABC, by the way, which is a Disney company. You don't think he did that on purpose? This guy is smart. Yale School of Drama. People need to stop acting like Jonathan Majors is some random Negro on the street that just got famous because he's, I don't know. Jonathan Majors is a smart, educated, polished brother who went on ABC, who is a Disney company, and tried to control his narrative. And everyone said it was a mistake. I go, no. I'm tired of people talking about me. I'm gonna sit down, whether you guys think I'm right or wrong or guilty or innocent, and I'm gonna speak my truth. So I get a little annoyed when these big wigs come on here and have publicists tell them what to do. You didn't start with a publicist. We better listen, man. Listen, Cat Williams cooking
Chase,
people.
What up, Chase?
Draw Brizzy with the chiseled jaw. Listen, how your mama doing? I love your damn mama, man.
I want to know about Sue and Terry. Damn it.
Yeah, tell me about Sue. Sue, that's boot thing right there. Where mama at?
Guys, again, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, all of them. What up, Chase? I see you, boy.
Breezy.
All grown up, still handsome as hell.
Oh, just handsome as he's a handsome devil. Asking you, but Chase, what you know about the sweet though? How much do you remember about the sweet?
You want no part.
You don't want no part of that. If you know what it is, then tell me you know what it is.
He's like, Evan, that was 12 years. He's like, that was like 12 years ago. And
is he triggered by the sweet?
If you some bitches don't know what we're talking about, everybody here probably played video games at one point before we had to do adult things.
Oh, yeah, this is so good.
What's the hardest level that you ever played in any video game? You say what you think it is. Look at Instagram. Evan.
You said the sweet galaxy. 12 years ago.
Probably maybe more. Probably traumatized that poor kid as a child. We're trying to play the sweet galaxy in his humble abode in Newville, Pennsylvania. We weren't hanging out with kids. It was my girlfriend's brother. Okay, guys, at the time, can we not be weird?
Yeah, it was like this, like that. That's creepy. I go, no, we had grounds.
They're like, was your girlfriend even there? I'm like, now that I think about it, I don't even know if she was in the room.
No, it was just us.
Okay. The sweet galaxy, the hardest level of all time, and I don't care what anyone says. And on Mario Galaxy 2, there's another sweet galaxy.
Oh, I popped when you told me that. I lost my mind. I go, there's a sequel because they knew.
They're like, this is bullshit.
I remember we were like, what are y'all? What is this? What Mario is this? We're like, oh, like the sweet galaxy. We were like, what?
The sweet nectar. I don't know. So. Somebody else chime in on one of the other chats. We're trying to look at all the screens. What's the hardest level you remember playing growing up?
Mine on a serious note is that anything that was Contra anything.
Contra was amazing, but it was absurd. Resident Evil 4 that's the one right there, Chase.
All Resident Evil games are difficult, and it's so clever because they do it realistically. Like you just can't shoot a gun. Right. It shoots a gun like you shoot a gun. It's like
it takes like time to like
boom. And then when he's loading, he's like I'm like, and you're pissed, but it's realistic though. You're pissed because that's how it would be though.
And a gruesome demon's popping out of something's head to like coming at you. You're like, Chase it. What are you selling? The most underrated character in any video game history, the Merchant.
Chase, if you just joined us, if you're still with us, young man, I don't know if you noticed, but JMC had a chance with SCARLETT JOHANSSON and he ruined it. So I just want you to get your thoughts on that.
He might have known about that.
You know about him fumbling the bag with SCARLETT JOHANSSON. Shame on him.
He was a baby at the time, but the theme tonight.
Babies remember.
Chase is over on Instagram. So Yeah, that was right around the time when I was dating your sister, Chase. When I'd done Night at the Museum too, and I can't remember if Captain America would have been
It's
right
cracking
after
up, yeah.
that. It would have right after that. So you might not have known about it, but yeah, I had to. I'll never forget it. But I was in the car with her for 8 minutes, and then so I had some time to let it marinate. But then Chris Evans ruined. Oh, look, Chase doesn't even have full context.
Yo, he said fumble the bag. He just got here. He just got here. Oh my God. Listen, the truth is the truth, Jay. You can't listen. If I learned anything from Cat Williams, is I must be listen. I'm gonna speak my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna listen, sir. I'm gonna speak my shit. So if I'm gonna speak the truth, if you fumble the bag with ScarJo, everyone's just acknowledging what we all know.
What am I supposed to say to that? I don't. I mean, that's a highly. I believe he got that's a collegiate athlete. He's gotten scholarships. It's a very intelligent, bright young man.
I always knew he'd be okay.
No context. Everybody else who was already here from the beginning already told me. The new batch of young men and women that pop into the chats are telling me the same thing. So maybe I really did fumble the bag. I got to do a whole self introspection, evaluation of my whole life. I got to find out who I am, who's in here at a cellular level.
As if Vince Vaughn, Wedding Crashers, baby.
I wanted to talk about underrated artists and works of art. I don't know how much time we have left, but
we got time for that. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up with that.
So
lock it up. Let's lock it up.
Speaking of Vince, I was just watching Made the other day.
Great movie.
And Swingers and just like the original Vince Vaughn and just how much people don't realize when you see an actor or an actor breaks. I want to read that comment. It looks spicy. Over on Instagram.
Miss Felicia said, just wanted to say thank you for including me. You gentlemen have made my night. It's weirdly relaxing. She was, my cheeks are hurting from laughing and smiling. Great show. All love and respect. Yo, Felicia, thanks, babe. Pull up next week.
We actually
pull up next week.
Finally got Instagram to work. If you want a better experience, I think that probably Twitch, Facebook, YouTube is a little bit better, but we'll take it anywhere we can get it. We know people come and go on the show and they pop in and pop out. It's Friday night. So Chase, love you too, bro.
Love you, man. For real.
You're from a great family, but
I agree.
A lot of times when you see an actor or an artist break and they're in a mainstream film or production, they've already done a very similar project or played a similar character. We just weren't privy to it because it took someone to notice that role. And Vince Vaughn had already done that in a couple things that had some notoriety, but and I know Vince is blackballed now, so there's all that. But now with Netflix, you kind of get a chance to go back and see those things, or there's different ways to make it in. But to wrap things up, man, I just wanted to say, there's a lot of art. I know that Evan and I, and I'm sure people that watch this show, draw inspiration from artists, from talented people. And the older I get, the more I have an appreciation for somebody like a Cat Williams, because I end up liking the guy, the human, as much or more than the artist, and they speak their truth. One of my favorite artists on the planet is someone who doesn't get a lot of credit. It's Alicia Cara. You probably know her from the Moana song if you don't know her from anything else, but all of her songs have some sort of meaning that she wrote herself. She has a song called Here. I don't know if you ever heard it, Evan. It's about
I'll check it out after the show.
She's at a party, and the whole thing is she's in her own head talking to herself. She's like, I don't even want to be here. I don't know these songs. I don't know these people. She's like, I don't dance like that. She's like, I'm sitting over here under a cloud of marijuana that I don't smoke. And she's like, what am I doing here? She's like, why do I keep saying yes to these things? I'm not even being true to myself. And she wrote that song, all her songs she writes. But she wrote that song, and her record label was like, no. It needs to be a song that's like, and it's a catchy poppy song because her voice is incredible. But the record label was like, we will not release this. And
Debbie Downer.
To her credit, she said, this is my first single, guys. She's like, I'm willing to die on this hill. And, 800 million plays later, 800 million streams later, she's a wealthy young lady, but at the same time, I empathize a little bit with, even though she's a millionaire, it's tough. But, she doesn't talk about WAP. She doesn't talk about, dropping it in the club. She's talking about and she's setting an example for young ladies everywhere. Whatever you choose to do that's up to you. But she's saying, like, think for yourself and do what's in your heart, and don't betray who you are. And that's kind of what she stands for. And I'm listening to her today. Like, there's no business for like a 40-year-old man to be relating to, a 28, 29-year-old young lady, very different walks of life. But when people speak their truth, no matter where you're from, whether it's through art or a medium like Kat's interview, look how many people relate to that. And I think that's what you were saying earlier about like if we ever had a chance to really interview somebody, like there's universal truths that we all relate to, and that's why so many people on this podcast that come on this platform and on your wrestling podcast, like we cross the genre of just wrestling and pop culture to find commonality and things we relate in. And it's like when you find something that inspires you or some truth in a song or a movie or an artist, that's true artistry to me, and I love that.
Big facts. Big facts. Andrea says, our cores are always the same, but you have both grown so much, and I love getting to be here to still see it. P.S. Great song by Homegirl. One of my faves. Great seeing you both tonight. Good seeing you too, baby. Love you. You know I love you, girl. And she's one of the best people I've ever met in my life. Got some good stock out there in Newville, man. I'll tell you, it's got some good stock out there. Yeah. Now, listen, like Andrea's always like the most interesting person about Newville, because it's like they have like their own like area, like the barracks have like their own like her family homes is like the Barrack Drive. That's pretty amazing to me.
Yeah,
like her address is like her name.
Everybody's a barrack. Everybody's like a something ball, like a draw ball, like Dell ball, Stam ball. And then there's the barracks who like took over. Like if there was a mafia out there in Newville, it'd be like the barracks. So Andrea,
she'd be a part of, definitely. There's an old Newville mafia. Her family's definitely a part of it. And God rest the soul of her dad, who was one of the greatest cooks and human beings I've ever met in my life. God, gone way too soon. I freaking love that damn man. That man makes some. Oh God, he makes some good damn food. And he was just a good ass dude.
Before we ride off into the sunset, Evan, hit me with like an underrated, an unsung hero that's like an artist or a film or even a song that just resonates with you. I feel like I know everything there is to know about you, but maybe something sneaky that I may not know about. Throw it at me.
I will. Heidi just said Andrea in the mafia. I said, "Oh, here, listen. I shouldn't have said something. I might get whacked." But yeah. Andrea said, "We love this mountain. That mountain is the shit. The mountain loves you as well." He said, now it's getting to turn like some hills have eyes. See, now I'm starting to think it's like a wrong turn thing that Andrea probably has killed like wayward travelers. But we ain't got you can tell me that off camera, babe. But but trust me, they established there. Every now and again when I get a chance to go home, me and my mother, like our thing is going to watch a film, and we got going to indie theaters and watching like film. And it's the craziest thing ever. I've never seen a bad movie with my mother. It's like a streak. And I don't think it ever is going to happen. We have never. Every time we pick an indie movie, it's never bad. One of the best movies I've seen in a very, very, very long time. It's called The Holdovers, and it has the great Paul Giamatti, and that's who I think is underrated. He's going to come up short this year because he's up against a juggernaut, and that juggernaut is from Ireland, and that Irishman will not lose. There's no one that's going to beat him. He's not even nominated yet, but there's no one beating him for the Oscar of Oppenheimer. So it's already done. I've already said it's done. It's done. It's dusted. But unfortunately, Paul Giamatti put in the greatest performance of his entire career in this year. And that movie is The Holdovers, where he is a professor at a school in Boston. Mm-hmm. And it's called The Holdovers because he gets stuck holding over with like a ragtag bunch of kids that can't leave because their parents are like, didn't want him to come home. Yeah. And he's a curmudgeon, and he's jaded, and he's conflicted, and you find out why. But it literally is just I'm serious, a powerhouse, brilliant, sensational performance by one of the best actors in the game. Unsung hero, always giving you quality work. And if you guys have a moment, it's on Peacock right now, so you don't even got to pay for it now. So check out The Holdovers if you got some time, if you want to watch like a film that's just good, wholesome, deep, and just well acted. So shout out to Paul Giamatti, the unsung hero. Oh, it's Dylan's running the muck.
I'm sending you what he just sent me, so you can. It's absurd.
He said I'm having too much fun. Oh my God, he made a video.
It's ridiculous.
Yo, it's you fumbling the bag.
I just watched it. Dylan is a madman. I love it so much. And that's.
It's you fumbling a bag for real. I'm dead. I'm dead.
I'm throwing the bag.
I am so dead. It's like a clean and jerk.
Oh my God, dude, that's amazing.
Quick recap of an hour and 51 minutes spectacular. Michael Jai White's a piece of shit.
We know that.
Jordan could have married Scarlett Johansson, but he blew it.
fumbled the bag. Apparently, now there's visually documented evidence of me not only fumbling but damn near abusing the bag. So I am without words. I have to fess up and admit I fumbled the hell out of that bag.
Oh my God, that is the funniest shit.
That's Dylan. That's amazing.
That is amazing. It's amazing. Shout out to Paul Giamatti.
Alexandra Luther said, to recap the first topic we talked about, comparison is the thief of joy. And that's therapist certified and approved on that. In small realistic doses, it can motivate, though. That's what we talked about too, Alex. Go back and watch that if you missed it. We always want a therapist take, man. Honestly, this show is such a labor of love on Friday nights. We never expect anybody to hang out the whole time, but when you do, it's a joyous occasion.
That's why we went so long, man. The longer y'all stay, the longer we'll stay. Damn it.
Yeah, the best thing to do, man. And we'll put this and last week's episode up in audio finally this weekend. But
yo, Alex, did you catch the part when you listen? Go back, Lex. Go back and watch the story where Jordan could have married Scarlett Johansson. It's the best part of the show.
Apparently, that's apparently the biggest takeaway from tonight. With all
you see how you can embellish something. You see how easy it is to this embellish him. Like he easily could have married her and he didn't. Like that's how shit gets started.
I'm like, guys, imagine if we were if we were a little more famous.
If this is like impulsive. If this was impulsive, this would break down, and then she'd come out. She'd be like, absolutely. Colin Yost would be pissed. He'd be so pissed. We'd have to deal with him.
You have to say something. You have to address this. She'd be like, we talked in a car for like 5 minutes. She'd be like, you got to get out, Scarlett. You got to get out in front of this thing.
It really would turn into something. It really would. That's why I'm doing this stuff now where nobody really cares. Because if this was, dude, if we were, oh my God, this would really turn into something.
Oh, and we got Chris like potentially getting jealous. I could have embellished the shit out of that. I'm just telling you guys what happened. I could be, oh yeah, Chris came in. He had this mean scowl on his face. He was like, dude, what are you doing?
Lex goes, hold on. Lex just goes, I can hear her voice. She was like, I feel like that may be when things started to get complicated in life. She goes, the massive ball drop. She goes, for Jordan, I mean. She tied into two. Oh my God. I love this show.
Andrew, you have a request. You have a request from us to end the night.
Oh, please.
Allow us to oblige. Or if she's saying go to bed, you assholes, get out of here.
Maybe that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do.
But all I know is that I did a lot of bag fumbling in my day.
I don't know. I just think it's a funny bit. I just think that the best part of this bit is when your body is one line. Your body is afternoon. We got this room to do. Yeah. One thing I was left to do. Discovering.
Then he said, 1 mile to every inch.
Your skin like porcelain. How the hell do I still know this song?
It's a lot older than you think.
It's a banger.
One pair of candid lips
and bubblegum tongue. Yeah, I know this shit. But if you want love, we'll make it. Swim in the deep sea. A blanket.
Take all your bands and break them.
This is yo, I know this whole shit.
And the sad part is not sad, but if you sing that to a girl for real, she will probably melt. The lyrics are
she will, but no, listen, Rooms for Squares, I think that's the album. One of the greatest albums I've ever heard in my entire. It is unbelievable. Me and my brother used to listen to it every night. City, like that is seriously. There's very few albums I think are like perfect. That is a perfect album. Shout out to John Mayer for that album.
I just found out there's no such thing as real. It's just a lie. You got to rise above.
Ooh, that's it. That's it. I gotta. He goes, I smile. Oh yeah, because I tell everyone. He goes, I smile just because. He goes, I got a city like. Yeah, that's a banger.
Oh, is a neon.
Ooh, I'm pulling up on this Apple after this show.
Dylan
Matthews with the twist of the show. The only bag fumble was from Scar Joe. Dude, the twist.
Tell him, DM. That's what I'm talking about. That's a DM that I'd like to slide into, brother. Dylan,
I'm talking about top rope, catch him in the now that's a swerve, boy. Yeah, Miss Cakes, we talk. You didn't miss. We talking John Mayer.
Rupert Square is one of the most
one of the greatest albums I've ever heard in my life.
If Neon is on that album,
it is. It is on there. I promise you, it's on there. Neon.
Hello.
Oh my God.
That's about a girl who likes to party too much, and he's like, she won't settle down with me because she's out of the bars every day.
Oh, the one joint. Why Georgia? Oh my God, Georgia, why?
Come on now.
Yo, download this album as soon as I get off here, boy. John Mayer cooking hotter than fish grease.
People were like, "Oh, he's just like Dave Matthews." I'm like, "The hell he is."
The hell he is. Listen to this. No such thing. Why Georgia? My stupid mouth. Your body is a wonderland. Neon. City Love. 83. Back to you. Great indoors. Not myself. St. Patrick's Day. Love song for no one. Why Georgia? Why? I'm like, I don't know, man, but this is cooking.
What did George ever do to you, brother?
Me and Jordan ain't make a song together in a long time. We got a new track. It's called Fumble the Bag. Yo, we had a rundown and this thing went off the rails, man, in the best way possible. How we get the John Mayer up in here? Shout out to Andrea. Yeah. Listen, Miss Cakes, love song for no one. Fish grease.
Oh my God, John Mayer had some damn hits. That's like is that still the one album?
Alex goes, you assholes. Jordan should have sang her Justin's verses and Girlfriend. Maybe, ooh, Luther's talking to you. She could have told you how you would not have fumbled. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the best part of this bit is, of course, he didn't fumble because he was on the job and he had to get out the car. But this is a funny bit because everyone's going with the bit.
Yeah,
so you have to go. You have to run it into the ground.
Yeah, you have to. No one even is acknowledging the fact that like A-list superstar Chris Evans like asked me to get out of the car. No one even cares.
Yeah, see, that's why this story is incredible. The story is incredible because we know all parties involved. People are focused on one detail: the opportunity with the bag. And the bag is Scar Joe. She's a bag.
And the bag.
And then someone fumbled the bag.
And like you've seen American Beauty when the bag is like meandering about. That's basically what the bag is like now. It's Scarlett just wavering about in the breeze, flapping in the breeze.
Lexi says she's a great wing woman. She is. She's a great woman. She was like, she was the missed opportunity. I'm
a Dylan Matthews guy, man.
Oh yeah, I'm Team Dylan. Even when he's trolling, with Incredible, I'm running that. I'm saving that. Yo, send me that video of Jordan dropping the bag. Me and Jordan been running the same joke for like different jokes for like 20-some years. So this has at least a year in it.
And now like forever, if I ever go out and date a young lady again, Evan can be like, "Hey, it's cool, but you're lucky to even be here because let me tell you real quick about the bag being fumbled."
Yep, that's the best part of the story. The best part of the story, I could be like, if I were you, I'd give Jared Jordan a little holler because he had Scar Joe.
You're lucky to even have a chance.
You're lucky he's even speaking with you. Yo, Dylan is running amok. Yo, let me see this. I'm gonna put this on the screen. Hold on. I gotta zoom this in. I'll zoom this in. Hold on. Look at this. Everybody,
Sky blue gets stuck.
You see this? You see this? You see the album cover? Look at the album cover, y'all, on Instagram.
That's amazing.
Jordan says your buddy's a wonderland. Do you ever understand he's doing this in real time?
It's incredible. I don't know what program he uses or if he's just his natural intuition, but
the stupidest show ever. 2 hours in, you guys have been amazing. We'll probably do that for next week if you guys pull up. We'll probably kick that to you too, guys. I like that unsung thing. Giving somebody props that you think should get props.
Yeah,
I think we'll do that every week. I think I'll kick it to the chat and then go around the horn. We gave ours. We'll have somebody new every single week that's not getting any flowers. You get some flowers. The great Paul Giamatti for me, guys. Watch The Holdovers on Peacock, y'all. Y'all got Peacock. Watch The Holdovers. Seriously, it's a movie you can watch with your family. Watch that damn movie. It's a good. It was a holiday movie. Watch the Holdovers. Peacock got it for FREE. For the Peacock subscription anyway.
Go get that. Thank you guys, man. As always,
thank you guys.
Fun. This is a lot more productive on a Friday night. I'd rather do this than go out and get hammered, especially if Evan and Heidi aren't in town. So,
and Alex goes, the face that Dylan said, you practice that face in the mirror. She goes, I have to know. the blue steel. She wants to know if you practice blue steel before we get off here.
I mastered it a long time ago, Alex. I no longer have to practice. What platform is Alex watching on?
Facebook, the Book of Face. Oh, he's doing it right now. He's doing the thing. Blue steel.
You kind of have to angle the camera up a little bit, but
blue steel.
Yeah.
Especially speaking of underrated, Mugatu, underrated.
Oh my God.
Underrated Will Ferrell character, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
She goes clearly. Yeah. Yo, love y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. You watching football like a God-fearing American should. Enjoy those games.
Audio versions will be up on all platforms this weekend, finally. And then of course the archive's available right away to watch back on this monstrosity on video. If you want to recap, if you want to hear the tale of bag fumblage.
I was trying. That's why I need Heidi, because she would be timestamping it. I have a couple of the timestamps of that story, because I'm not joking. I'm probably posting the clips probably in like the next 20 minutes. I gotta figure out. Because I forget there was a first version of it, and then the second version could have been funnier, and I lost that time. Like, damn it! I'm at least put the first version up, because I remember that was like an hour and 17 minutes in where we started talking about your journey. Yeah, so we're gonna have something for everybody, but I appreciate you guys, everybody on the gram, everybody on Twitch, everybody on Facebook, everybody everywhere. Enjoy your Friday, man. We out, brother.